So I had just finished stream maybe a couple hours ago, lounging around, and I was like, you know what? This popped into my head. So as you know, I am a bit of a Pokemon nerd. If you've come to my streams, link down below, you'll know I'm a bit of a Pokemon master. We actually just completed playing all 3 Gen 1 games at the same time. More on that later. But the idea that popped into my head was this. As you see here, we have Red. And Red's team in Gold, Silver, and Crystal is this team you see right here. Right here on the screen for you. Don't mind me, just balancing a quick audio. By the way, this is the Goldenrod City remix by Hoops and Hip Hop. Check that out. That's going to be the soundtrack of the video. So, as you see, it led to a theory I had in my head that in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, the red U face is based off of yellow. Because in Red and Blue, you only get access to one starter. Where in yellow, you get access to all 3 of them. So the red we know and fear at the end of Gen 2 playthroughs is the one you control in yellow. But I'm here to give you an idea, or maybe an alternative take, as if, what if Red's team in Gold, Silver, and Crystal is actually based off of Red and Blue. So, but before we actually get into that, since Red's team does gonna have a starter revolved around it, we're gonna look at Blue for a quick second, okay? As you see Blue here, his gym leader team will stay the same. However, which we'll load into talk about Red here more in detail in a moment. But Red's starter for this Red and Blue based Red change up for the Mount Silver fight is going to be the starter that's weak to yours. Because as you know, in Red and Blue, Blue picks the starter that is strong against yours. So we're going to keep that dynamic rolling here. So if Blue picks Charizard, he'll replace Arcanine with Charizard. If he picks Bulbasaur, he'll replace Exeggutor and Blastoise with Water Onix, respectively. But now over to Red. So this would be his team in yellow, of which I will also carry that into Crystal, maybe. Unless we want to base the Red and Blue teams on Crystal as well. So we'll worry about that once we start talking about the team itself. So here's my first thought, because we're gonna highlight 3 teams for you, and the first of which, before we cover starters, is again Red's gonna have the starter that is weak to yours. So in this first mock-up that I have, we have his first mon being Venusaur. This is in the idea that you picked Cyndaquil. Because we need to go back, and we have one thing that we actually have, because why this didn't pop into my head right away. But we need, nope, stop it. We need to highlight this here. In Gen 2, his team is based on Generation 1 in-game events, right? So we're going to carry that over as part of our requirements here. So he picks, if you picked Cyndaquil, he will pick Bulbasaur as his starter, and thusly, in the Mount Silver battle, Venusaur will be essentially the replacement for Pikachu, okay? These next 4 mons are all going to be the same, whether in this mock-up you're in silver, gold, or silver. So, but one of them is a version exclusive. So, the next one up will be Lapras. This would essentially, we'll say, replaces Blastoise in this case. But in his Gen 4 team, he replaces Espeon with Lapras. Which Lapras you get given to you in Sylph Company after you defeat the fabled rival Fivel sub to J-Rose. Now, he'll carry that one in, and then that'll be his water type, right? His third Mon, and this is his Venusaur team that I'm showing you right now. His third Mon's going to be Snorlax, as is in his original Gold Silver Crystal team, because you have the route. It can either be the Route 12 or the Cycling Road 1, whatever one you want to call it. So it's either the one on Route 12 or the one before Cycling Road. It doesn't matter. That part's all notwithstanding. We are also going to keep the Espeon. I was going to flip it to Umbreon because, you know, Umbreon's my boy. As he's right back there. But with Karen in the Elite Four having an Umbreon, I felt like we should stick with the Espeon theme here. And Kanto in Gen 1, I like to think of was an eternal daytime. Because there's no day-night cycle in Gen 1, it's an eternal daytime. I say he gets Espeon. So, for his fifth slot, we're going to put Hitmonlee. Okay. Now, Hitmonlee you get after defeating the Fighting Dojo in Saffron City. You have the choice of either Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee will be in gold in this alternate universe, and Hitmonchan will be in silver. So, whether you're playing gold, it's Hitmonlee, and silver, it's Hitmonchan. I'm going to leave Hitmonlee up on the screen, though. And here is where I had the biggest debate on what I should put in the sixth slot. Because going off of the requirement that he has a set team based on Gen 1 in-game events, the precedent is there for static encounters, where Snorlax is a static encounter. I thought about putting a revolving door of fossils here, but that would just... I didn't think it would be enough challenge for as far as how challenging Red is. But you know what I can do? A revolving door of legendary birds. So, I was initially going to put Articuno here, but then your starter would be super effective against two of his types if you go with Venusaur. So, his Venusaur team will have Moltres on it. Because you encounter Moltres in Victory Road in red, blue, and yellow. Now, let's say you picked Totodile. He will then have Charizard. And all the stuff will stay as it is. All the stuff would stay as it is in this alternative take. But to give him a little type diversity, we are going to give him Zapdos with his Charizard team. So all of this stays the same. Unless you're unless you're hypothetically in silver, then Hitmonlee will be Hitmonchan. But if you picked Totodile, he'll have Charizard and Zapdos. If you picked Cyndaquil, he'll have Venusaur and Moltres. Now, if you picked Blastoise, he'll have, if you picked Chikorita, he'll have Blastoise and Articuno. Because I feel that would give Red an increasing challenge. Now, what levels would these all be at? So his revolving starter is going to be the level 81 in this universe. So the revolving starter is the Pikachu replacement. Espeon and Snorlax will have the same levels as they do in Red's current team. And then obviously the other three would be at 77. So Lapras, Moltres, and one of the Hitmon. Lapras, the legendary bird, and one of the Hitmons. So now, if we were to do this for Crystal, it would be a similar concept. It'd all be the same stuff, but let's just, for all intents and purposes, say that this is going to be based off of this is what would happen in Gold and Silver. What you would do to make this team setup work in Crystal is you would swap Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan for one of the fossils, I do believe. Because you'd have 3 revolving door Pokemon though on the team, which would be kind of hard to deal with. So I would restrict, because I do believe, doesn't Brock use both fossils on his team? Yeah, he does, in his gym leader team. So to make this fit for Crystal, because Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan are specific to Gold and Silver, the Crystal specific Mon, what we'll do is we will put Aerodactyl there. Or what we could also do, for shits and giggles, we could also do the Game Corner Porygon there. But that's not an in-game event by all standards. So we're going to put Aerodactyl there for his Crystal team. So now, if I were to say what is the better team setup, I think it would be his Charizard team. So, because I feel like the Charizard Zapdos combo gives better balancing. Because, you know, Zapdos is super effective against Totodile. Articuno is super effective against Chikorita. And technically Zapdos is not super effective, or Moltres isn't super effective against Cyndaquil. So, but Cyndaquil is resisted by Moltres, so now we could go, we could go into move sets, but that's a whole lot of moves. So what would happen is, for the move sets of his revolving starter will be the same ones, the same move sets he has on his gold, silver, his current gold, silver, crystal team. But for his revolving starter, Espeon and Snorlax would have the same. And then we'll figure out, and then we'd have to figure out moves for Lapras, the Hitmon's Aerodactyl, and the revolving bird, but that we can worry about at another time. Because I wanted to do this one, it's just a quick little thing. It was in my head. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments section down below how you would base Red's team if it was actually based off of red and blue rather than yellow. I had fun making this one. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Until then, good day, goodbye, and good night.